With this dolphin, Circe, what did the relationship mean to you as a human being? You use the word closely bonded, um, um, use the word wonder. Um, what did the relationship mean to you? What did it feel like?
It felt like a relationship that you would have with another, whether it's your spouse, your child, your pet dog. It's another mind. It's another mind. And in this particular case, this mind is a very intelligent mind. So she, I watched her, I interacted with her, and I watched things she would do, and then I tried to find ways of partnering with her rather than just simply testing her. It was very hard not to bond with this animal and the other dolphins there as well. But Circe was the one I was primarily working with.
I don't know if we actually have a word to describe this relationship. We're falling back on relationship words like marriage, friendship, whatever. Children,
I have a word I would suggest. It would be almost enchantment.
enchantment. And what does that word mean for you in terms of a relationship?
It means an awareness, an appreciation, a strong feeling of admiration. This child was hanging on. It was off the coast of Florida. This child was hanging on to an inner tube or some kind of life preserve. The child said he was saved by dolphins and that the dolphins stayed with him until the rescue boat came. By the way, the young boy said that as he would slip from this float, the dolphins would push him back onto it. What does that mean? That means they have some understanding of what what the situation is, and they are helping. So that shows some altruism, empathy, and I think that's why the ancient Greeks may have been in awe of dolphins. They talked about them as they were intelligent because they observed them. They were at sea with them, much the way we see these dolphins bow riding on our boats. People love this. It engages us. It enchants us. Marine mammals, the whales, whether it's humpback whales, whether it's gray whales, whether it's dolphins, they show this propensity to be curious and to be friendly, as we often call them, like the friendly gray whales. And I think these are big brained, highly social mammals that are curious. And we see it by them coming to our boat, looking up at us. If we're in the water, they'll often come over. They're not, they'll come close to you with your eye or watch from a distance. And, we see this kind of looking and whether we and gazing and approaching, and I think that's a very interesting way of thinking about curiosity. They seem to be interested and learning more about us. He found our boat and he pushed his belly against the side of our boat, this big humpback, and looked up at us with this big wet eye. And those of us on the boat who had been involved in the rescue, it included government officials. We all looked back with really wet eyes. We were all just crying. And we all felt that this whale understood something about what we tried to do, that we were there to help him. And at the time I thought, wow, did he really? Did he really? Even though it felt like that, am I being too soft on this? Am I overinterpreting this? And that would suggest he had some theory of mind or some sense of empathy. At that time, we hadn't heard these stories coming in about whales, about humpbacks showing possible empathy. Finally, I'll just say this, and then is that one of the things that I think marks perhaps the way I work is I try to partner with the dolphins. If I'm working with a dolphin or an elephant, I do that as well, a bit, but less frequently. But we'll focus with dolphins. I try to give them a voice and try to see what they'll do, what their ways are, rather than training them to do things or asking them to do certain things. I give them things to see reflections of their minds and their types of intelligence.